why the niggas dragging you to believe that this is cool when if you know your path already, go ahead and work on that shit. It ain't gotta be cool for nobody else. Long as you
You get loud for you still?
1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2.
Get y'all kind of
Welcome to another episode of Tufftalk. Today, I told y'all Big Snoop always got something for y'all, man. Just stay in tune. I'm going to keep bringing y'all what I'm bringing y'all, the conversations y'all never heard. The realest conversations y'all never heard. Today, I have an honored guest. I'm honored to be sitting with this man. I'm bringing to you legends, man. Giving them their roses now. Praising them now. Respecting them and saluting them now. While they're here with us. Because I respect the movement. And these are the type of people who want to bring on here and give to y'all to give hope to the people that's hopeless. People that made poor decisions but was able to have enough courage to turn their life around and be different. I'm not going to no longer talk about this man. I'm going to let him introduce himself to the world.
My name is Abdul Hakeem. People in the street call me Heads. Growing up, they called me Jay. I'm a real estate investor. I own Dream Chasers LLC. And I'm here to talk with my man Snoop and just shoot some game to the average youngin' out there. I'm sure we can get through and help a lot of people. So I'm willing to open up a little bit and share.
All right. Man, thanks for coming on, man. And thanks for, wanting to share.
For sure.
Because, a lot of guys, man, that had that influence. We got to come back and show some type of love to our city.
Agreed.
A lot of us move away from our city.
Yeah, agreed.
But we got to come back and show some type of love because we showed a culture. We created a culture, a crime out there. We entertained that stuff. But in our beginnings, we wasn't criminals. Mm-hmm. We became criminals because we made choices to become criminals. I just want to talk about, you can relate to the young boy that's stuck between right now. We can talk about the young boy that's going through, or the young sister that's going through some things with. I'm ready to go to my doctor, I'm psychology boy. It's called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, when you got two conflicting thoughts in your mind, when you know what's right and you know what's wrong, right? But it's called cognitive dissonance. So at a young age, we was going through that. I'm pretty sure. But I want to ask you about, what you said, Jay, you said Heads, and Abdul Hakeem.
No.
So you may have just gave me three different personalities. Three different types of people that think a different way.
It's definitely four.
As far as another one?
I agree with you.
All right. So in the beginning, like I said, we didn't grow up like to be criminals because, like something I was looking for to come on my show was somebody that made it to a certain platform in the streets. Mm-hmm. And also made it to a certain platform in life period. Mm-hmm. Handling life on life turn without the streets.
And the craziest thing about that, Snoop, not to cut you off,
it's cool, bro. Tough talk.
When I look at the 360, I wasted a lot of time. Where I'm at now is originally where I wanted to go. The street or different little movements sucked me in to go a different route. But I went full circle and came right back to where I was originally supposed to go anyway. So Allah is the best of planners in that regard.
Let's talk about that, where you was originally supposed to go.
Originally, growing up, I didn't grow up as a poor kid without options. I had options. I knew right from wrong. I had proper mannerisms. And I was even good in school. You understand what I'm saying? I've done a great job in school. I was an educated kid. So I should have went to college, but the circumstances was fucked up. The family didn't really have the proper resources to send me away to a 4-year school without me getting a scholarship. But the street was right there. So you make a choice. Do I want to chase the money now, or do I want to possibly go to school and gamble on whatever career path I'm gonna make? the right thing to do at that time, and everybody was pushing me to go ahead to school. I had the mental capacity to do it. I had degrees. My homies was in the street though. What they didn't understand was that we created our own family already. So these dudes meant more to me than my blood at that point.
Wow.
It would have been hard to go to school and walk away from them so I can understand what the average young guy going through. You know what I mean?
No
Because
doubt.
we come from broken homes. You go through some of the best moments in life with some of these guys. How do you just walk away from that? Cool. I choose that option. I let my quote unquote circumstances dictate my movement right there. Knowing I should have went to school and tried to do something with myself. But I didn't want to break those ties with my homies yet. Because I'm thinking that that's cool. It was fun. But when you look at life from being a grown man, it wasn't really cool. The average young guy can't see that yet. Because he hasn't been presented with certain situations. He hasn't probably had a kid or had a woman who loved him. Somebody to really be there for you. When you get that, you start seeing life differently. But some people gotta mature, or some people gotta go through certain things to be able to see that.
Exactly.
I'm here to explain to you that that's there. When your parents trying to raise you and tell you about better things, that's not drag. They done seen society already. We ain't trying to hear it because we convinced that we gonna do what we wanna do. Until that day comes that you get in this deal. And it's a reality check for everybody. I had a lot of time to spend in that situation, so when I got back out, I just pushed my original path from the beginning.
And that was what? Going to school?
Going to school, just doing all kind of legitimate things. Because I had the mental capacity to do it. If you can get down on the street with all the risks that you take, you can definitely get down in business world.
Definitely, because you're not at that level that you play on. You're not scared to take that risk.
Well, let's go there too.
Right.
At the level, basically. Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of our people stuck into a certain where they scared to take risks, financial risk. They're scared to put some money out there because they rather pay a bill before taking a risk to make some more money.
And it's funny you said that. Our people, most of us started with nothing. So what you afraid of?
Exactly.
You started with nothing.
Exactly.
If you don't just, I'm gonna go throw the money on it, check it out, research it, study it a little bit, gain some information about it, and if you become sure about it, go ahead and pull the trigger. Because it may can hit for you and change your life. I didn't do nothing special that the average guy can't do. But I seen enough of life to know that I'm gonna double down on myself because I gotta make a difference. I got people depending on me. I'm depending on me. I gotta make a difference. So I gotta make it happen.
So at what point in your life did you feel that right there? That feeling?
To be honest with you, I grew up feeling that way.
You grew up feeling that way?
Yeah. I watched the men in my family not really amount to much and not knocking them. They was who they were. You know what I mean? But I got awakened at an early age about the fact that it was more out there to life. And these guys probably never had that moment. So I'm not knocking none of my family members that came before me, but they probably wasn't awakened yet. Once I got awakened, I knew it was more to chase. So I always felt that way. I watched my circumstances and I just knew this ain't it for me.
So is it anything like anything that you learned from your old skill sets that can translate now into like a transferable skill from the streets to a corporate world?
Every part of it, man. There's not one part that I can glorify the most, but that street life, that's microeconomics. It's supply and demand, like, you know what I mean? And in society, you run across the same things in business. That's breaking it down in its very simplest form so that, our listeners can understand it. It's just that way.
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand. You learn to buy it at this price, package it if you need to, and put it back there at this price to make a profit so that you can feed your family and live.
So it's basically something that we already grow up really knowing how to do. Once we learn how to do it, we already know how to play on that level. We just got to educate ourselves to go to the next level. Right?
Along the way. And that's what I run into a lot. I see a lot of guys talk about what they want and where I believe I should be, and it sounds good, but you gotta arm yourself with the education. That's the difference between us and them. They don't have no problem with passing the information down. You'll get some information, you don't want to see me come up, so you go and curl up in the corner and hide the information. And that's what we do in our culture. It's terrible. It's killing us.
You think it's all black people or just Philly people?
No. I've been across the country, man.
Okay.
It's not just Philly people.
Philly got some distinct ways about
Philly
ourselves.
got some distinct ways about us. And no, you ain't never lied. That's
Seriously.
true.
I mean, I'm fighting against that Joe thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I teach a bunch of kids. Like, I got a bunch of kids in my program, New Option, More Opportunity, and we trying to reshape their mind to turn that Joe thing into being a networking thing.
But, that's all it is. But they learned the wrong term first. So they learned it as Joe opposed to networking, trying to see what this guy doing, what she doing, what he doing, because they can possibly be resources for me later. If they're not taught that, they don't understand to go hunt for that. And that's all it is. You tweak it by showing or teaching small little things, because the instinct is already there. I worked at a boys facility over in Camden called Capital Academy for about a couple years, trying to like go inside, kick it with the youth, see where they was at, so I can know how to help. And I was just making little studies on my own, trying to understand what I was feeling and what I needed to do. And when I got there, like, even though it was Jersey youngins, they're a little different than Philly, but I still felt the buzz that was going on amongst them. Everybody was lost.
The same play.
Same play. They talked different. Their swag was a little different, but they still was lost. It felt weird watching them young boys be that lost, man. And the problem was, every one of them felt entitled, and nobody really wanted to put the work in no more. Now I see why they lost. We got a generation of youngins they got their chest poked out because they're entitled, so they believe, but they don't really want to put the work in.
It's a damn shame.
Yeah, it's bad. But what I learned was a lot of them feel that way because people gave up on them. So they're really depressed and they don't really know how to express the hurt. So, I mean, I got an understanding of what's going on. It's just going to take special people to really go into these communities to help these little guys, man.
Did you set up anything to give back to the community yet?
I always do. Like, I've taught maybe 15, 20 guys what I know real estate wise already.
Okay.
Trying to show them that you're making a little money over there. Let me show you something different. I'm going to show you how to put your credit together. I'm going to show you how to maneuver, put a skill set under your belt because somebody blessed me with it. And you can do all right for yourself. Out of the 20 guys, I probably say I had one that probably took it serious, bro. The numbers was alarming, man. It's kind of frustrating when you see it that way. Like, man, am I wasting my time by even trying to do this? It's bad.
Wow. I think, like when I first came out of prison, I started working with, the guys on the corners and working with the Philadelphia Anti-Drug, Anti-Violence Network. And that's what had me out there in the streets. But I seen something else. It's like we was neglecting the children in the community.
Yeah.
The preteens and stuff like that. So I talked to my partners about, we need to service them somehow, better.
I agree.
So that's what made us start opening up our doors to children in Philadelphia to come. And we set up a program that we can teach them.
And I think that's where you started with the children. Though.
Exactly.
The teenagers, I think they're a little too set in their way. We may have to skip a generation to be able to really put an effective hold on it by starting with the kids.
And that's the antidote, man, to stop all the violence in Philadelphia, man.
I think so.
Put a finger on the pulse. I mean, with some respected men, some honorable men that come together, that's still names still intact.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we can do it because they still hearing about it.
I agree.
They know who we are. They still watching.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's important that we do this, man.
It's very important, but we're really gonna need some resources, man. So it's bigger than you and I. We're gonna need a lot of us thorough brothers that's out there in the street to really come together for it. It's bigger than you and I. Like, what I understand wholeheartedly is that talking by itself is not going to be enough. We're going to have to really get these little guys and take them places and show them things, to show them that it's okay to laugh and express your feeling or enjoy yourself by having a good time that day. Everything's not about hard, having your pants hanging down, carrying your pistol. You can go have some fun and enjoy life, and that'll soften people to make them want different things. Lecture, 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 it ain't gonna work no more.
Bottom line.
They zoned out, no matter who you are, because I think the drugs are putting that screen there to not even allow them to focus no more. They hear you and they may even respect you, but their thing is, man, you ain't done nothing for me. You haven't took me nowhere and showed me nothing. So I hear your head, but yeah, I hear my homie that ride with me every day more.
Yeah, but that's old news now, because we done came on the scene, right? We got a workforce development program. We get the kids $100 a week to come to our program, right?
Nice.
We teach them cognitive thinking. Mm-hmm. We teach them job readiness. Mm-hmm. We teach them computer coding. Nice. We teach them financial literacy.
Where's this located?
5510 Woodland Avenue.
Woodland Avenue.
50. Yeah. It's called New Options, More Opportunity. NOMO.
I gotta help you.
And we about to open up a building down South Philly, the No More Academy. 3 brothers came home from jail. Okay. With this vision. Now we're about to open up our own No More Academy, February 28th.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know,
I like to see y'all doing that, because it's gonna take that kind of push for y'all 3 brothers and then 3 more brothers and so forth and so
exactly.
on. It's gonna take that.
The
kind
resources
of push,
out here. We tapping into them resources, the pipelines, because
so when you say
they get scared.
When you say the resources out here, are you saying it in the sense of is money available to do things?
Grants, yes.
Is grants and stuff available?
In the city of Philadelphia, they just gave me $20,000 to do something in my neighborhood.
Nice.
It's called the Target Community Investment Grant.
I'm glad to see that kind of door is open again, because at one point...
And they give it to just anybody, not just a 501c3.
Yeah, but they didn't care no more at one point.
Exactly.
So I'm glad to see that that's happening. So yeah, I mean, the time is right now. Like
too many bodies dropping, man.
Yeah.
And they respect credible messages like me and you.
Okay.
They respect the fact that, like, what we've been through is our credibility.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't have that. They know they can't go down Marcoux Street and just talk to the young boys on the corner. They know they can't do that.
Yeah, for sure.
They might run a stop sign.
At one point, they frowned upon us for having that ability. Now you finally understand that ability is needed to reach these guys.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But I love where this conversation is going, man. We got to stop for a little commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Tough Talk, man, with my man Heads, Abdul Hakeem, Jay, man with money names, man.
Alhamdulillah.
Hey, yo, man, we was talking before the show, and I wanted you to talk about, you know, some of the things that you're doing for the black community and ex-offenders, returning citizens.
So, right now, my main contractor at my real estate investing company, he has a construction company, and he's giving out jobs to ex-offenders, coming down, teaching them a skill, carpentry, electrical work, plumbing. We're doing a project now in West Philadelphia, putting together a nice size mixed use building, and he's handing out jobs.
A nice size, what kind of building?
Mixed use, commercial on the bottom and apartments up top.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's I think this particular project is a large commercial space on the bottom and 6 apartments on the 2nd and 3rd floor.
Why do you think it's important to hire ex-offenders, man?
It's important to make people feel good about themselves, man, and to show them that despite everybody else kicking you, man, like, we're trying to have some kind of door open for you to be able to try to get yourself together if that's what you really want to do. When a person feel like everybody gave up on him, you gonna get him to behave how? He got no choice but to bug and mug, and then you're gonna be sitting here talking shit about him, but you gave him no options. So I mean, I think that's important for that reason. We also just recently, me and a partner of mine, female partner Beverly, we opened up a home healthcare center, #1 home healthcare, and that'll be geared more towards giving the young females and stuff in the neighborhood a job.
Okay.
Being like CNAs or going out to people's homes, helping them do laundry, help them shop, like, you know what I mean, medication reminders, things of that nature.
That's some great shit. And then, like what you said earlier, you made a statement about, you know, how you take a certain path in life and then you just came back to a certain path. You know, we talked about that too, and that was real profound because I just blanked in that someone else had mentioned something just like that. Mm-hmm. That once we come out here, mm-hmm. I mean, we grow up and we want to be something in life, sure. But somewhere we take another turn, and we may have been a straight A student, grades plummet. Mm-hmm. We done with school. We out in the streets. Excuse me. So now you go through the streets, and then you realize all the pain and suffering you went through, put your family through, and you don't want to go through it no more. Enough is enough, right? And then you look up and say, "Damn, I gotta go to school, get an education."
That's my story, bro.
Listen to this shit, y'all.
Bro, I grew up, seriously, I grew up with aspirations of wanting to become an architect.
Yes.
I was in about 4th or 5th grade in Martha Washington, and I had a mechanical drawing class. And it just stuck to me, bro. I just knew right there that, damn, like, I'm watching the guys in the magazines, they dress and fly with their suits on, looking dapper like yourself. You know what I mean? And they, in the meetings, on their boards, they sketching out tall buildings like downtown. That shit attracted me, bro. At a real young age, I was on it. So that was cool to me. That's the path I should have took. Circumstances introduced me to the game at that high school level, right? 9th grade, you know what I mean? And mm-hmm. It's making it harder and harder to stay with my original goal because I'm being sucked into the street because that's cool. When I got to 12th grade, it became so lucrative to us that I had a choice to make. Do I stay here, try to keep myself safe, and get the paper that's available right now, and go ahead and try to make that into a fantastic life for myself, or do I go away to school? It's debatable. A lot of people say it was the wrong decision that I made because of what I went through, and I agree with that myself. Some people say it was the right decision because they went for the opportunity not knowing what the future held. I used to feel that way, but I don't agree with that path no more, but it's debatable. Everybody gonna have their own opinion of it.
Exactly.
I saw myself get released from that situation after doing 10. I'm back in school.
Y'all set for 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years, man.
Oh, shit, a whole decade. I thought it was 6. I don't know why.
Fighting cases. And walked away with no conviction. It's unheard of, bro. But we'll get back to that on another episode. Like I was saying, I saw myself come back, go to school for certain little things that I needed to, and go ahead and open a business and handle myself the hell out of the way.
And that's the message. That's the point that I really want to bring and highlight, because there's a lot of young boys out here and young sisters out here that want to be certain things in life. We don't want them to neglect what they want to be with their passion. When you find your passion, you just follow it. Have enough courage to follow your passion and be different.
And a lot of them are being sucked into trying to be with that it crowd. It's okay to be different.
Exactly.
And when you understand that you're different, like, that makes you a far better person. But they just don't understand that it's cool to be that way.
Yeah, you being who you were supposed to be.
And that's what we need to show them. Because if you look at my life and my story, I came back full circle to who Allah had already destined me to be. I took all them bumps and bruises for no reason. Well, I can't say for no reason because I got a valuable education out of it. But I'm right back to my original situation, bro. I'm looking at designs, blueprints, buildings,
exactly,
like you saying. Exactly
bro.
What I wanted to do.
Congratulations,
hey,
man.
Alhamdulillah, man.
I love to see a black man beat the odds, man. This is what he looked like. This is what he looked like, man, when he beat the odds and make it out the trap, man. This is what he looked like. Yeah. And I'm glad, man, we got this platform to bring it.
Oh, yeah.
We control cool. We control this content.
We control cool, man.
You know what I mean? We giving it to him.
Like my homie Wallow.
Shout out to Wallow 267,
like
man.
Like my homie Wallow said, man. We control cool.
Exactly,
man.
bro.
And that's real, man. I'm glad that he chose those words because that's real.
Exactly. Thanks for stopping by, man, talking to me, man.
It's always a pleasure,
real, man. I hope you come back.
Yeah, for sure.
We do some great things together.
We're going to continue doing it.
And put our minds together and go out here and say these babies.
We're going to use this platform right here and continue doing it for them, man.
Beautiful, man. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Tuff Talk.